All right guys, today I need to install this automatic chicken door out here at the chicken coop. We went with one of these, I believe it's an Ortis or Ortis. I need to get in here first on the existing door where we slide the wood back and forth to open and close the door. I need to take off some wood out there to clean up the outside wall so that the mounting brackets for this door can be mounted flush to the chicken coop. This is everything here. We've got a sensor actuator bar that connects to the sensor here, the control mechanism, and this control mechanism, you can set the time and dates of when you want the door open. You can set it sunrise to sunset. So there's a lot of cool settings you can do with this. This is gonna be really nice to have this automatic door on here, because when there's days when we're not feeling right, or we can't get out here first thing to let them out, or if we're caught up out in town or away from the farm, we're not able to actually close them in at night, this timer will automatically open and close that door. All the chickens naturally will go in when it starts getting dark outside, and the door will close, so that we shouldn't have any stranded chickens once the door closes, but we'll keep an eye on that, and we could always adjust the time when the door closes. So I'm gonna get in there, we're gonna get this area prepped up and get the old door slide, I guess you can call it, taken off, and once we get that set up, we'll start installing a new door. There we go. All right, now that we have the old boards here off, I just scraped off some of this old dirt and debris that's on the side. Now I'm able to take those rails for the door. They're gonna mount. I wanna put the first one on here, make sure that it's all level, and then we're gonna measure, make sure we have a good measurement. Put the screw on the bottom of the other rail, slide the door mechanism in, and then make sure that it slides up and down right, making sure the other side's level. And then once that is done, then we can put the actuator, mount the actuator on here that's gonna lift the door up and down. And then we'll have to come up here on the side of the chicken coop and mount the controller box and run the power forward. So I'm gonna go get those parts, and we're gonna start getting these rails put together and get this door put on. All right, so what we wanna do is I'm gonna take, these are the metal brackets that go in, there's two of them. They're gonna get mounted together with these mount holes. They say 2 inches from the bottom of the hole, but we don't have this hole cut out. It was already cut out like this. So the hole should probably only be here. We're just gonna make do what we got. We might have to put a filler board down here to cover that gap. Tighten it later. What we wanna do, make sure this is nice and level. Plumb right there. Good. Third one in. We're going to want to try to keep the right spacing in here. So we're going to slide this in on that and put this on the side here. Somewhere right in there. But then we want to make sure we're the same height up here, like that. Make sure this one over here is level. Now these should slide all the way down. Yep. Now we need to get the bracket so we can put this door together in here. We'll get the bracket set up for the actuator. What we need to do now is take this door, and we need to put this bracket on here. There we go. All right, so let's see if this slides down in a little better. There we go. All right, what we need to do now is take this actuator. I
need to probably plug this in so that we can extend this line out. And once this is extended out, we'll be able to get the height to figure out where this needs to go. All right. There we go. Right where we want it. We'll take this back off for the time being. And let's bring this back in and get it mounted. All right. So let's get this down and let's get the pin in here. There we go. And this there we go. We got a little bit of a gap here, not much, maybe an inch and a half. I'll put a piece of plywood right here that'll cover that up. And there's just the tiniest little gap here. I might be able to put a filler board on the inside just to clean that up. So now we're ready to get the electronic components hooked up. I'll probably do it somewhere right here and we'll have to go inside and run an extension cord. All right, so here's the controller box. This is gonna hook up to the door by the actuator. And then we're gonna have a sensor that gets mounted down here to sense activity in and out of the door. And then the power lead will go out and get plugged in inside the coop. Anywhere in here works, I guess. We can probably put it right here. We just need to get this 3M tape off. There we go. All right, so we wanted it probably somewhere right in here. Stick it on. There we go. So this one here for the actuator will be plugged in to this. Screw this on nice and tight. We'll have to get some zip ties to organize all this up here. Now we need to get the sensor that goes here for the door. Okay, now we have this infrared sensor. It's gonna go here. Basically, we're gonna put it below the actuator line. We want it down here. And what this does, it's gonna hold this sensor out and it's gonna sense in case any chickens are going in and out when this is closing. If it detects them there, it will prevent them from getting stuck or closed in this metal here. So put this through. Not exactly sure. I don't think it has to be perfect, but hand tighten that down. We'll connect this back up to the mechanism, the controller. And that'll come up here. There. Now the last thing we need to do is get the power line ran so that we can turn it all on and get it working. Once that's done, we can fix the ramp down there, close that in, and tidy all this up with some zip ties. I gotta go inside somewhere around the window height, figure out over here where I can put this through. And what I'll probably do, I've got a drill bit. It's somewhat close to the size we need, and I'm gonna drill it and put this through from the inside. That way we'll connect it out, and then this connector here will be on the inside to an extension cord, and we'll have to tack it up and zip tie it. I'm gonna go on the inside and see where I can put it through, and we'll get a hole drilled. What are you doing in here? Oh, there we go. There we go. We probably don't need a whole lot out there. come back in to work on that wiring in a little bit. Now we got this wire out. Connect it here. I'm gonna try to figure out something to put around this so when it rains it doesn't pour down. So I'm gonna try to figure out something for this, but I wanted to make sure it's wired up. Solution for the bottom here, this gap, I'm thinking about putting a piece of 2x4 there, because then what we can do is I can rest this ramp right on it there and screw it in, and the ramp can just stay right here and it'll help close in that gap a little bit. So let's go work on the power on the inside. I'm gonna have to get a small extension cord and we'll get that plugged in and we can try to get this powered up, and then we'll tidy up everything else. What I want to do is get this over. All right, so let's take this, plug that in there, we'll close that in so we keep that clean. Let's grab this. There we go. Now we should have power back there. Got to program this. What is it? 214. Open. There you go, chicken. Come on out. And you push it. Close. All right, I got some zip ties here, so we're just gonna go around and tidy all this up, make it nice and neat and orderly. All right, now I think it's time to program the controller and we'll be ready to go. So according to the manual, it says to adjust date and time. I'll hit the time. All right, so that's that. We've got the door mounted and it's working. We've got it programmed and can't wait to see this thing in action. I'm hoping it actually goes by the times that are set, so that it's supposed to actually open and let the birds out at 7 a.m. and close at 5:45. Now the times can be changed and adjusted a little bit. Ideally, you know, I want to make it so that it's first light and after they have enough time to get in at night. They do make doors that actually have sensors for night, so as it gets dark, once it reaches a certain darkness, it'll automatically close, and then once it senses the light, it'll open up. This particular model here, this door does not have that feature, so we just have to program the actual times in the actual controller itself. But this is going to be a lot easier than having to come out and open and close the door every single day. It just automates the process, allows us a little bit more time to focus on other stuff here at the farm. I still would like to put something on top of this or around this for more waterproofing. I have a few ideas. I don't have anything on hand to do that. I'll have to buy. And I also want to put some caulking around the hole here, but I don't have any of that on hand either. So that'll be future. Whenever I get those, I'll go ahead and finish this up. And like I said, I might tidy up the cords a little bit along this. Might get some cord tracking. I think I might actually have some in the shed, but either way, I may end up doing something down the road, but for now, this is good to go and it's working.
Feels good to get it done. This gap filled in really nicely here with this 2x4, and it gave us a good solid spot to put this ramp, screw that down, and I just reused the screws that were already here that had the boards that are going across here. This sensor comes out, it'll detect when this is closing, it'll detect any kind of motion in here and stop the door. So for example, if I hit the mode to close the door is going to close. Now if something came in front of the sensor, it should stop the door until it senses that it's clear. And it'll continuously do that as it's working its way closed. So it's pretty nice to have that sensor. No chickens are going to get stuck in the door. All right, so I came back down here. Right now it is currently 5:44. This thing is set to close at 5:45. So I'm just here to verify, make sure it's going to close. You can see it says 5:44. So as soon as this turns 5:45, we should see that door automatically close. So let's keep an eye here. Anytime now. All right, like that, a chicken door is installed. I appreciate everyone following along on today's video. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.